Real nigga. Yeah. I want the hood flooded with cocaine. Every nigga with a key, working the propane. What's going on, people? It's your boy Rio. We here with the Keep On Pushing interview series, and today we have a very special guest, the original man, the OSB. Talk to him, O. Shout him out. Unmute your mic, G.
Peace. You can hear me?
I got you.
Okay. Peace to the world, man.
Yep.
What's going on? It's the O, aka the original man. Right here kicking it with my dog, Black Dollars Rio. You already know. What's poppin'?
Yeah, man. Good Sunday. This good Sunday.
You already know. I see you got the new single banging in the background.
Yeah, man. That one is the Better Than You.
Yeah, that's the new one right there that just came out this past October the 3rd on a Tuesday.
Yeah. So in the background, I'm gonna have that one rotating also with the other track For Keeps.
Okay.
As we going through the interview, of course, we're going to get more in depth with what you got going on project wise and music wise. But
Okay.
again, Black Dollars Media, we giving a preview with what the O got coming for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so the guests, the fans, they come to hear what the original man has to say. But right now, we're going to start with a nice little general question. This year here we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop, and
Right.
that leads me to ask you, what do you think is next for hip hop? What's going to pop off in the next 50 years?
That's a great question. Next 50 years of hip hop. Well, seeing as how, when hip hop was getting it cracking, I was just a little whippersnapper out here in these streets. I grew up, I had the fortune of growing up through pretty much, the eras of hip hop. I remember conscious rap. I remember the start of gangster rap. I remember trap music, to where we at today with drill rap and all that. So I think I just think that it's just gonna be more creative, more young kids coming up, understanding what's going on with the world. I think that over the next 50 years, I think we're gonna get a little bit more centered, like how we used to be, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? I think that these kids are finding themselves more. I think that these kids are losing the victim mentality and being more proactive about their success, about their destiny, about where they are at in the world. And I think that over the next 50 years, music is going to become the tool that it was originally used as, to keep the people aware, and to help them release when they need to.
Right. Good question. Good answer. I say question. My bad. Good answer, man.
Yeah.
So let's get into what they really come for. My first question for you is what is your artist name? Now I asked this question because when I was introduced to the O, it was OSB.
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that stood for Original Soldier Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Can we get the story from how it goes from OSB to the original man?
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I had to come outside to check something out. Excuse me. Um, yeah, no problem, man. So OSB, right? So I started out as I was like 13, 14 when I started rapping, and I didn't really have a name. Um, my homeboy Rooster, who's also my barber, he nicknamed me Trench, right? Like trench coat, because I used to always wear this trench coat in the winter, so he used to call me Trench. And I was a little kid, 13, 14, shit like that. So, used to use my trench coat and go steal at the stores. You know what I mean? Um, by the time I was like 15, 16, I had met Ill Will and Major Payne. A lot of people know don't know Ill Will, but they know Dub Slim. So I met Dub Slim before he was Dub Slim. He was Ill Will. He was with a brother named Major Payne. They had another brother by the name of Dunn. They were a rap group called Ghetto Union. Um, my homeboy James, he introduced me to them. Shouts out my homeboy James Truesdale. Ain't seen him in forever, but still a good friend of mine. So anyway, it went from meeting them cats, and I used to hang out with them cats every day. And one day they started taking me to the studio with them because I introduced myself like, "Hey, y'all rap? I can rap." You know what I mean? I ain't had near a job or nothing, but Ill Will used to live, maybe 10, 15 miles away from where I stayed at. He stayed up in Moncks Corner. So I would get my mama to take me up to Moncks
So
Corner.
is that where you're from?
Huh?
Is that where you're from? Are you from the Moncks Corner area?
No, I'm from downtown Charleston. I
Born
was
downtown?
I was born in Columbia, South Carolina, Richland Memorial Hospital. Raised up downtown on the BI 59 Ash Street. Also raised up on 1150 King Street. As a child, I grew up in Ashley Shores, River Place, back when Georgia Degree projects was a thing. I done lived everywhere, man. I lived in Ardmore. You know what I'm saying? I went to
All
C.E.
right.
Williams. Like, my mama moved me away from downtown right before I was supposed to go to Rivers Middle School. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you from downtown, I don't know about nobody else, but I wanted to go to Rivers. I wanted to go to Burke. You know what I'm saying? I was mad my mama moved us from downtown. But, I ended up moving into Goose Creek, went to Goose Creek High, transferred over to Stratford, went to Stall, finished up in North Charleston. I quit school, actually. You know what I'm saying? Um, I ended up quitting school when I was like 17, 18. But I'll get to that
We'll
in a
get
minute.
into that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
get
get
to that.
into that.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. But I met Ill Will, man, and I had my mama take me up to his house, take me up to Moncks Corner. I'd call him early in the morning and bug him till he came and got me. And I'd follow Ill Will everywhere he went. So Ill had this partner, they called him Bus. So Buster used to see me following Ill everywhere, and he'd be like, "Hey man, you got your little soldier with you. You got your little soldier with you." So I started out as I went from Trench, and then I just adopted that name, Lil Soldier. I like that name. So back when airbrush T-shirts was the thing, I would go to the mall and get the airbrush man to draw me a tricked out military soldier with no shirt on, all beefed up with gold chains, and I'd have my name, Lil Soldier, across the top of it, whatever, whatever. And from 13 to 18, by the time I was 18, by the time I was 18, I took the Lil from the name and I was just Soldier, Souljah, like Soldier. My soul is in Jah's hands. Um,
Right.
and then from there, it went on to OSB, and that was because Soldier Boy Tell 'Em came out, and that just kind of like everybody was, down here, everybody thought that was me on the radio, and
Right.
that was not me. Would have loved for it to have been me and me to make that song and got that bread, but that's just not my style of thing. No knock to the brother. So I went to OSB, Original Soldier Boy. Stayed OSB, still go by OSB on certain levels. But I say about 2010, somewhere between 2010 and 13, there was this competition. Big salute to Miss Vicky and Miss Vicky Baylock from Lockdown Entertainment and Lisa Williams Gonzalez. Um, from Diamond Law Entertainment, um, mom and auntie, right? So they put me on to a lot of information in game. But by 2013, they had this competition called the King of the Mic. I almost got sidetracked for a second. They had this competition called the King of the Mic, and that competition, the only thing that it had of value outside of competing with your peers was a title belt, right? A braggadocious
What?
ass title
Mm-hmm.
belt. And I just took my knowledge of sports entertainment and professional boxing and just shit talking on the mic, and I transformed myself from OSB into the O. And the O was short for the original. And the O was a combination of the baddest attitude era wrestlers and the dopest hip hop MCs that I have in my top five. Right?
Mm.
So
Right.
I the O became a combination of The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. And then lyrically, the O is Rock Kim, DMX, Pimp C, Tupac. You know what I'm saying? 8 Ball and
Yeah.
MJG. Like the O is a hodgepodge of golden hip hop era. So
Right.
that was a competitive thing that went from 2013 until like 2017,
That
2018,
was a
and
fun
then
era. That was a from the outside looking in. That was a fun era seeing y'all boy doing y'all thing. You
hey,
did the
look, I
motherfucker, man.
retired. I retired as the goddamn king of the mic champion. I'm going in my closet right now. I literally retired with the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Um,
That was a that was an
Nobody
interesting
took that
time.
from me. I wouldn't giving it up. But at any rate, I use the braggadocious, the trash talking. I used all that as a way to bring to bring more marketing and more attention to the competition itself. So with that being said, from there by 2020, I had in the process of all of that over the last 9 years, I'd lost my wife to a battle with multiple sclerosis, um, and
Condolences.
much appreciated, much appreciated. And in the process of that happening, um, I kind of I just let life happen. You know what I mean? I wasn't too much really worried about the music. I wasn't really worried about putting anything out. I was just trying to get my mentality and my mental piece back together.
Right.
And I had to recenter myself because Apache was my why. You know what I mean? That was my everyday why. So I had to recenter myself and sit with the universe and talk with God and really figure out again what my why is. You know what I'm saying? Um, and in the process of that, Muhayyadeen died. He got murdered in New Orleans. And if anybody knows Muhyiddin El Dabaha, aka Moy, you know that this brother stood against all injustices. This brother was very active. He was outspoken. Um, his energy was infectious.
Right.
So when he passed away, um, I think myself, I sat on the phone with Mossy B, and we both cried for like 25, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, just reminiscing on this man, tears in our eyes. You could hear it in our voice. Shouts out to Mossy, one of my best friends, and also somebody who did not like me when he met me. Um, we didn't like each other. But
Yeah,
he is
me and we didn't like each other either.
but isn't it crazy how both our friendships started out like that with him, and now we're like both the best of friends with him? Like he is like really one of the greatest people I could call him, and he'll help me really look at the situation from from an aspect I was not looking at it at. And I can also count on him to help me remember to always choose myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm choosing everybody else. So big salute
Good
to him,
dude.
right? Yeah, love that brother. But anyway, so Moy died, and that just sent me back in the studio. So I went back in the studio and I started recording music, recording music, recording music, recording music. And from 2020 until now, I've recorded about, I don't know, 60, maybe 80 songs now. And finally, I recorded them at BCM. I recorded some at Satin Sound Studios. I had recorded some at SMG Audio. I also had recorded some at, the Family Rich Studio. But predominantly everything went back to BCM. Me and Stunner, we sat down, we put it together. Majority of the beats are produced by Perp. Big salute to just Perp, Black MIDI family. Um, so yeah, so uh 2 years ago, I think 2020, I decided to put out a song. It was part of the plan. 2020 or 2021, I put out a song. I put out part of the plan. I had Vegas to shoot that video. That was like a $1,200 video. It was great. Took off. Then I followed up with Act of Fool. That took off. Still doing good with that. Then I chilled for a minute. And then last year, I released a single titled Conflict, which I had slated for it to be the intro off of the album that I'm releasing this year. Then I kind of went dormant for a minute. And, sidebar, when you're an artist or when you're doing anything, you have to be consistent. So when you stop and you're dormant, it's like you're starting all over again. You got to get that traction back going. But if you have, like, a couple of diehard fans in the cut, they got a watchful eye for you. So when you do decide to wake up the sleeping dragon or come out of hibernation like the bear, they're like, oh man, he's back. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that kind of kick starts the wheel for you, right? So I put out Conflict, and then I just kind of chilled. And then finally this year, I was on social media talking a lot of crap, talking a lot of trash, telling everybody they had so much time to get their music together and get themselves out of the way and get their affairs in order because I was coming. And I said it a lot to the point that people just thought that I was blowing hot air. And then there would be like side posts about what I was saying and stuff like that. And I laugh at it. So I watch it and I watch it and I watch it. And, the whole time, the whole year, I was performing different places, going to shows, popping up, testing music out, doing what I was doing. And I think late last year, oh man, who was it? Who was it that said it? Somebody had said it.
Mm.
I can't even remember who said it. Oh, Gino Judges. Gino Judges. Gino Judges
Mystery Girl.
introduced me, and he said, y'all make some noise for the the original man. And I just hit the people's eyebrow, and I was like, huh. I hadn't been thinking about another layer to my brand. I hadn't been thinking about where I was at mentally in my place of life. But when he said it, I got up on stage and I did my thing and got off stage and went home later that night and I thought about it some more and thought about it some more. And I said, that's it. The original man. So Gino
That's
Judges,
it.
Gino Judges unknowingly gave me that name. And I definitely told him that. I said, yo, I'm keeping that. I said, I'm keeping that. But he said, I believe he said that that's how he sees me when he listens to my music. So
So it
that's
just
that's
clicked
how.
on a spiritual level.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And recently I had the privilege of doing a show with Port Baby Brown, OG Bucks, and Langston Hughes, and Charlie Doctor Superstar. He put it completely into perspective when he said what the lane of music is for us, for the gentlemen and men like us that are 38 and 40 plus. We make adult contemporary head nod music. You know, we can give you both sides of the coin. We can give you the street, we can give you the gangster, we can give you the trap, but we can also give you the knowledge, and we can also give you the other side of the coin of all of the stuff that we giving you. When you
Right.
think that, you know, when you think that we just telling you these stories to glorify, you know, what we've been doing, and or what we have been through, or to some extent sometimes what we still have to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the original man. That's how I went from OSB to the original man.
So tell us, what was life like growing up? You say you born in downtown, and yet you've been over. I mean, well traveled. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit? Tell us, what was that experience life? What was that experience like? How did that, inspire your rap career and things of that nature?
Life growing up, man. So my mom married my dad somewhere around the time she met him. I think he was kind of like on work release. My dad was on death row before I was born. Um, and he transitioned. He got off of death row. He was on lifetime parole by the time I was like 10. So I remember living in Colombia as like 18 months, like a year and 6 months, right? My
Right.
earliest
Right.
memory, my earliest memory of my mom and dad together is me sitting on the floor crying and my dad picking me up, and my mom taking me from my dad. And then my other memory is a heavyset black man meeting up with my mom. Our cars parked under a tree, and he gave her like a big wad of cash. We had sat under that tree for maybe 12 hours. As an adult, I now know that me crying on the floor was my mom throwing a hot pot of grits on my dad because a
Mm.
lady came to the house fully dressed in a Muslim garb saying she wanted to be wife number two. Us
Right.
sitting under the tree for 12 hours was my mom packing us up and leaving our dad and running out of gas and waiting on my sister's dad, who lived in Orangeburg, to meet up and give us money to get all the way back to Charleston. So
Right.
from there, I grew up living in my grandparents' house, my mom's parents. Um, I am the baby boy. I have um, two older sisters, one older brother, and two younger sisters from my mom. My dad has four kids, and I'm the last of my dad's children. And on that side of the family, I have two older brothers and one older sister. Um, one of my older brothers is from my mom, so he's here. But at any rate, growing up, man, it was you know, sleeping in front of that furnace heater. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Downtown, because we ain't had no central heating and air back there. When it was cold, it was cold. When it was hot, you had to turn that AC unit on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember picking plums off my grandma tree and raking yards, for video game money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I remember getting jumped for being light skinned. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Some dark ass niggas downtown, man. You ain't
punk ass niggas
lying.
down. Some boy jump you, boy. Light skinned ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I
That
remember,
shit's sad, man. But yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, growing up downtown was like growing up anywhere else across ghetto USA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, I had my fun share of times. We had our bad times. We lived off of books of food stamps. You know what I'm saying? We used to go. My mama used to send us. So I remember going to buy cigarettes from my mama. You know what I'm saying? From the
And the store will
Arab
let
food.
you do it because they knew you.
Yeah, and we lived right across the street. You know what I'm saying? Come in the
Yeah.
store like, hey, Muhammad. My mama said give her a pack of cigarettes, and I'm paying Muhammad with a food stamp bill.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
paying Muhammad with a $20 food stamp bill. I'm getting all the food and snacks out the store. You know what I mean? But
Did you
growing
do
up,
any
man, huh?
I was about to ask, you had any school activities coming up that you
Man,
participated in?
I participate when I was in the third, fourth grade, I was in the choir. Um, I sung in the choir. I tried my hand at instruments in elementary school, like the flute and things like that, the standard instruments that they have you play. I tried out for basketball in the sixth grade, but they told me I had to wait till I got to the seventh grade. By the time I got to the seventh grade, I just wasn't interested in that shit no more. Um,
Right.
I had already moved on. I had By that time I had told my dad that I was gonna be a rapper, and I knew what I wanted to do with my life. And I was going to be the greatest hip hop performer in the world. I was gonna be the rap version of Michael Jackson on stage. Nobody is
What
gonna out.
influenced that?
Um, Honestly, man, I knew I wanted to be a rapper since I was like 8, and all of the music that my older sister Nikki used to listen to, Nikki had it going on. You couldn't like Nikki wouldn't you couldn't even come to Nikki room when Nikki wasn't home. You couldn't play none of her tapes. Like Nikki was so nasty with the tapes. She had that shit. You know how like your CDs had the time? Like she had no the
Yeah.
tape ratio. Hey, she had no the tape ratio to where she had been at. Like literally, she knew if you had pressed play or rewind on the tape, because there's no way you're gonna stop it right to where she stopped it at. You know what I'm saying? I remember
Right. And she meant that y'all was not touching her shit.
man, listen, man, she had me hooked on Grand Pooba, Brand Nubian, Big Daddy Kane, Mary J. Blige. She had me hooked. You know what I'm saying? She had me hooked. I'll sneak in her room, bro, and just play the LL. You know what I'm saying? When I got my heart broken, I'm alone in my room. Sometimes I stare at the wall. Stole the tape. Stole it.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that's when I knew. I knew from a kid that I wanted to be a rapper, man. Like 8 years old, and I think by the time I was in the sixth or seventh grade, I discovered that I could write lyrics. You know what I'm saying? By the time I was in the eighth grade, I had discovered that I could memorize other people's songs, but I'd still
So all
never.
of so all of this is going on by yourself? Like you're just, introvert, outrovert? Like are you with your homies and you're
I'm
discovering this
I'm
talent? Are you
I'm
just like in the room?
I'm introverted. I'm introverted, and then one day, we were living in Ardmore, and my homeboy Montel Bishop, he was uh he was the only person in the hood that could rap, and we were walking home one night. We had went all over. We had caught the bus downtown and been all over downtown all day. And we had walked back from downtown into Ardmore, right? So
Right.
we in Ardmore, almost to his grandma's house. And he like, man, y'all boy, I've been rapping all night. Y'all boy can rap. I don't care what going on. Y'all gonna rap. Somebody gonna spit something. So he rapped, then Justin rapped, then Paul rapped, and then when it was my turn to rap, I rapped like 3 raps I had written in the cut in the house. And then after
Ready
I
for the
ran out of
ass.
those raps, I just started freestyling. And they was like, dang, man, it's you good, man. And Montel was like, man, I didn't know you could rap like that. And I was like, man, me neither. And it just stuck. It just stuck. You know what I mean?
Right. So I mean, at some point, rapping with the homeboys turns into actual like, hey man, I can make some money off of this. When did that transition happen?
That didn't come for a while, man. Um, by the time I was in high school, I came to Goose Creek High. I knew that I had to find a studio, but
Right.
I didn't know exactly how to go about doing it. I didn't know nothing about recording. You know what I'm saying? Because my version of recording was taking a blank tape and taking my radio and putting in the instrumental on one tape deck and then pressing record on the next tape deck and plugging the microphone in and spitting.
Yeah,
That was my way of that. Yeah, that was my way of recording tracks. You know, me,
yeah,
Arion,
I
and
ain't gonna
Derek,
get
we
it.
sat. Yeah, me and Arion and Derek, we sat back one night and made a whole mixtape. You know what I'm saying? I remember one of our singles was called Mortar on Brick. You know what I'm saying? Everything thick,
Right.
everything real, like mortar on brick. But anyway, um, by the time I got to Goose Creek, man, um, you know, I told my mom, I said, man, mama, I gotta find a studio. And I ended up finding one. And it was Angel from Shaka Tracks on Ashley Phosphate
Mm.
Road. And I went to Angel. I had a concept of a song. I had what I later found out was a chorus. I had that written down.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not that I hate to cut you off, but Angel was your first time going to a studio.
Angel, Shaka Tracks. That was my first studio ever going to.
That nigga was my first studio too.
Boom. There you go. There you go.
Okay, continue with your story too, please.
Right. So my first song I ever recorded was called Rhyme Breaker. My first time ever performing was at a talent show at Goose Creek High School with my homeboy Jabbar, who went by Mr. Malice. We had got a standing ovation. When I got that standing ovation, matter of fact, before we got the standing ovation, when we came out on stage and Jabbar started rapping, they started going crazy. And when he passed
Right.
me the mic, and all I said was, "Hey yo," the entire auditorium just went ah, and I kept rapping. And as I rap and I'm looking and everybody's on their feet and they're just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's your peers. And these are people that know you. And these are people that don't know you as well because I'm new to Goose Creek at the time. And I'm saying to myself, I love this feeling. I love seeing people react like this. I want them to react like this more. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I said, yeah, I'm locked in. So once I got the Shaka Tracks, I had my first song. I'm in there. I'm freestyling the verse. Like, and I don't know that again, I don't know nothing about recording. So I don't know hook, stop, double up, ad lib. I don't know verse,
Right.
stop, ad lib, you know what I'm saying? Underdub. I don't know none of that. Everything one take. So Angel like, nah, hold on. You gotta do it like this. You need to write this down. All this here, you need to write this. Here the paper, here the pencil. Write this. Write the words. Now go in there, say it again. Now when I went back in there and said it again, he said, "You see how different it sound now that you know it. You see how much
Yeah.
more confidence you feel." I said, "Yeah." So he taught me to write my lyrics down. He taught me how to separate hook, verse, hook. You see what I'm saying? And then from there, I met Will, Ill Will, and G. And they just, and then come to find out they're recording at Angel at Shaka Tracks. So now it's like full circle. I'm coming back there. We're doing 8 hour sessions. Then from there, we start recording with DJ Act Fool. And,
Right.
Ill Will, Major Pain, from the ages of I don't know, 13 until like 17, they pretty much funded my music career. There were brothers in Goose Creek, uh, off of How Hall Road, you know what I'm saying, that created whole companies because I could rap. Like we didn't know nothing about rap. We didn't know nothing about the business. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? All they knew is that I could rap. I'm dope. I'm so dope. I'm making people that never thought they could rap. When I came to Goose Creek, and this is not a lie, and this is not a farce in any stretch of the imagination. When I came to Goose Creek, nobody in Goose Creek was rapping.
Right.
When I came to Goose Creek, the biggest thing in Charleston at that particular time, other than Molly Mall, Mr. Taylor, and Fat Boy, was the Carolina Pathfinders and T.R. Floating Boy. You see what I'm saying? It's the biggest thing popping. Nobody in Goose Creek was rapping. You understand what I'm saying? So when I came to Goose Creek and I started rapping, everybody started rapping. Chill Productions became a thing. These guys threw parties. They had a studio, all that. Everybody and their mama started rapping. And I salute all of the talent that comes out of Goose Creek now. But my point in saying that is that even with brothers putting money and building studios and houses and all this stuff like that, we still didn't know what we was doing. But it was
Right.
a dream. It was actions toward a dream, but still not knowing how the business worked to make the dream happen. You see what I'm saying?
But what was the dream? I mean, niggas like rapping and shit, but it's like, what was the dream?
The dream back then was get a record deal.
Okay.
That was my dream. Their dream was to be Master P, but they didn't know how to
Right.
be, but they didn't know how to be P, or they didn't know how to be Birdman. You know what I'm saying? So brothers was just we was just out here spinning our wheels. These brothers was spending their money and spinning their wheels until they understood that, hey man, you know, they fully at that time, these brothers was fully engulfed in the streets. So they looking at it from a street perspective. I'm losing more money than I'm getting back. I'm gonna pull out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't never felt bad about brothers pulling out because I didn't understand the business. I didn't even have a game plan or a business plan to sit down and talk with brothers and say, no, hold up, this is how we do it. Now I got the game, right? And over the years,
Right.
I was still acquiring pieces of the game. You know what I'm saying? But still at the same time, I still didn't know where to go to look to find the right people to find the right people to properly invest in this craft. I was going into the streets, and people in the streets, they expect street results from business, and it just don't happen like that. You see
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
want
saying?
an immediate return on investment.
Immediately.
Yeah. And I mean, it's aspects of the game where you can get that, doing shows and things and whatnot, but the actual music part of it, developing a product, putting together a project and putting it out there, like, that's an investment of time and passion. So
And
yeah, it's
everybody
kind of
and
hard
nobody's
to,
passion is like your passion, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Nobody's driven like you. Nobody has your goals and has your ideas and is going to see your vision the way that you are. And that's a hard reality. It's a hard pill to swallow, but the faster you can swallow it and digest it, your life will be better. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you'll understand that, um you have to do all of this on your own. You know, we don't, as artists, as starting a business, you don't make enough money to do anything other than invest in what it is to get it up off the ground. So if you're a rapper, a musician or whatever, you're behind the eight ball because you don't have enough capital to do nothing. You know, it
Right.
it it honestly, I'm just
On a
finding out.
scale that you would on a scale that you would be able to sustain a livelihood off your music alone.
Correct, correct. I'm finding out. It honestly takes $150,000 all in to break an artist to the point to where they're making money. To where they're generating income back in. You know, 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, and then it can grow to 100,000 a month. And that's from more than just five. That's from more than five sources of income and revenue, all based
Right.
around your music career. You know what I mean? It's like we have so many jobs. You know what I mean? I'm watching, these podcasts with Wendy Day and the Rap Coalition, and I'm listening to the game and I'm taking notes, and I'm slowly applying these things too because I don't have 150K, and
Nah.
somebody like her, it costs 250K for her to work with you and break you to the point that you start making money again, right? So she's giving away a lot
Right.
of free game. She's giving away free game because there's ways for us to still do this, right? So I'm looking for, you know, all types of private investors because that's what we need as artists to actually get there. So outside of finding a private investor or hitting the lottery, You know what I mean? We have to continuously put our product out there, put it out there, put it out there, network it, move it, and take risks on ourselves that are lucrative. But again, we're just spinning our wheels, bro, because if you say you got $20,000 to do this, you just gonna run through $20,000.
I agree with you. And that's the sad, that's the sad part about this conversation. I can't really push back or give you no other side to the argument because I agree 100%, man.
Like and I've done it. I have done it. Oh, I've done everything short of paying these execs 5,000 grand, because you pay that $5,000, that 5 grand. You know, you just spent the 5 grand. You might get a little bit of traction, or you might not. At the end of the day, they still got paid. You're out five thousand
And then
dollars
and the cycle continues.
and it's just a little bit of growth. But at the same time, you got to wear so many hats, right? You gotta make the music. You gotta market the music. You gotta create content for the music. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hats that artists have to wear to make this shit happen. But the content that we have to create, it's not all music based. It's people based. So find out who you are, what you like to do, how that identifies with people. And this is shit I'm still learning. And then create content that's easily digestible, relatable, and put it out.
Right.
The only luxury we have is not being signed to a label that can restrict us. That is a luxury. I don't want to be signed no more. I want to be comfortable. I want my content to grow to a point where it's generating $100,000 a month. 4, 6, $10 million a year. You know, I'm looking at the artists like the La Russells and the Troubles and the Tech Nines and the Macklemores and the Nipsey Hussles and the Pac-Mans. Like, all of these brothers have done it themselves very independently. Um, some of these brothers have created um, platforms and formats called Proud to Pay, which is something
Right.
I'm looking into, and I'm going to start implementing, where there's a sliding scale on your physical material. You see what I'm saying? And it works better that way, because online, other than building your website and creating Proud to Pay, you're at the mercy of the distribution streaming platforms, right? And
Right.
the average single is a maximum of $1.29, and at a low of 69 cents, and a maximum album is $12.99. So physical product and your own website is key. You know what I mean? Which are the two things I'm creating right now. I'm in the background working on getting my website built, and I'm currently about to start getting some physical CDs and materials pressed up. People say the CDs are obsolete, but they are actually not, because there is a whole
Well,
market
you
of
got yeah, we got to talk about that. Why you say that? Because I
brothers.
mean, last
It's a
time I bought a CD been a long time.
but it's a whole market of people out there that still collect vinyls. You see what I'm saying? So if people still collect vinyls, there are people that still collect CDs. There's a brother right now from Charleston that sells CDs in Atlanta every
All
day.
right.
Every day. He been living his life off of his CDs. You understand what I'm saying? So there are people that get cars, brand new cars, and request a CD player in it, inside of the amenities that it already has. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes just ain't nothing like pop, click, nostalgic. It's nothing like it's nothing like can I flip this camera around? I can't flip this camera around, right? It's nothing like a good Ninja Turtle.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's nothing like a good Ninja Turtle. You feel me? So no matter how the evolution goes, the sun still comes back around. The cycle still repeats. You see what I'm saying? Like it's you like drill rap. It'll probably be around for another 3 years, maybe 5. But another wave gonna come in, and it ain't gonna be
Right.
nothing new. So
Yeah.
CDs is they're not all the way obsolete. They're just not in the big market like they used to be. You know what I'm saying? Me and Brown was talking the other day about ways, um, ways, you know, some of our entertainers could take back power from the record labels. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Like
that's the ultimate way because that's a physical product that you get damn 100% of the damn money. So that's a
that's my
direct
point.
investment and you see a direct. But this, this streaming thing, man, it's just so convenient, man. It's so convenient for the
And see,
consumer to just get that product that way digitally. That
streaming is great. Streaming
this
is
is
great.
thing. I'm not going to say nothing is never impossible for nobody. Never say that. It's just the chances of you sustaining a career off of physical CDs right now, and it's gonna be kind of hard.
Hey, that is
But
it
I'll
is
never.
it's gonna be damn hard. But see, my thing is this. My thing is this. If you create, people don't know what they want until you present it to them.
Right, right,
The average consumer did not know that they wanted that until it was made. And if you build it, they'll come. These are universal principles that have never failed. You know what I'm saying? And they only fail should the person applying them not apply the right thought process and action. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna get cold out here tonight, boy.
yeah,
I
yes
keep
it
going
is.
outside. I keep going outside, weather checking. Like, should I put my hoodie on? I change clothes
Well,
because
you're
I
gonna
got a
want
show
that
to go to
tonight.
tonight. Huh?
You're gonna want that tonight.
Yeah, I got a show to go to tonight, so that's why I was outside checking that weather. But it's like I was saying. We was talking the other night about the ways to take the industry back. You know what I'm saying? The ways artists that are out that have that power could take the industry back. And just like you said, yeah, that's definitely a way. Like the example would be just that, right? Like, hey, yo, this De La Soul, we dropping a new album, and you can only get it on cassette tape.
Right,
But in the background, of that, right? Somebody created a company and put $2 million into a company that's going to create cassette tapes, and you're going to sell these cassette tapes for $24. You see what I'm
I
saying? It's
see
like
it.
different,
See
different,
it.
different, huh?
I said I see it. I'm following you.
Yeah, just different thought processes. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, I got a vinyl player right here in my house, right? That I bought out of the store that actually has a cassette player on the side, right? And a CD player slash recorder.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But it also has a USB joint, an auxiliary plug-in, and a Bluetooth connection. You feel me? So it's always
I feel
there.
you.
It's always there. Like there, my brother's dad passed away recently. Rest in peace to the blues man. But the blues man, his music wasn't online. But he, he been recording and putting out music since like the 50s with like real record labels. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
My
Yeah.
my brother had to show him. No. My brother had to show him how to put his music online. You see what I'm saying? So now there's music from, I can't remember the name of the label, but it was a an actual established label. But now his music is out. Now
Right.
now it's timeless. You know what I'm saying? It can be found in the digital verse. You know what I mean? But all before, you would have to go to the vinyl store to get that high five record.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now, a brother like me, right? If I want to for nostalgic purposes, I could go down here in the chest and pull out the high five record, or I could play it off the phone. I got options just for the
It's
nostalgic
good to
value.
have all bases covered.
Just that, and for the nostalgic value of it. Like I bought a vinyl the other day, Jimi Hendrix vinyl the other day from the vinyl collection guy. He had it on. He had a $150 value on it. But his prices wasn't set in stone. You know what I'm saying? I got it off him for 80. You know what I'm saying? Got it off him for
Right.
80. You know what I mean? But that's because I wanted it. But he also had a De La Soul record in there. Um, still in the plastic from the day it was bought. Dusty up. You know what I'm saying? Like only played once. But I had 250 for it. You know? So I'm just saying that it's things out there have certain value to people, right? But CDs, I don't think they'll ever go obsolete. I think that I think that right now, if a rapper or uh, a singer came out with a collection package, right? So they got a collection package,
Right.
and this collection package includes three platinum albums from their collection. So let's say Usher gave you three of his greatest albums, right? The ones he calls the greats. And I don't know the name of none of Usher albums. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say out of his
All I
illustrious
know is
career,
Confessions.
boom. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say he got a fucking value pack, collector items, t-shirt, signed, autographed disc, lyrics pressed up, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. You can get the physical copies or you can get the digital version, right? Physical
Right.
the digital version 89.99, physical version 179.99. Somebody gonna pay that 179.99. A bunch of somebody's gonna pay it. You know why? Because they gonna want to smell that shirt Usher had. They gonna want to
I
see that
dig it.
actual CD with that autograph on it. You see what I'm saying? Like, and for the
Only
shits
my
of
only little my
hmm?
only interjection would be that that's going to work for a Usher,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not necessarily going to work for the average artist.
But see,
But
it will work for the average artist, but it'll work digitally. It'll work digitally, but it can also work physically if you have the physical things and package it together. You see what I'm saying? Like if you got vinyl
to make it
and you
happen,
got huh? What you say?
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something.
I didn't say
Um,
anything.
is there a problem with the recording?
Nah, everything good on my end.
Okay. Okay. Um. Anyway, I was reading something. It was telling me something in the phone, something about storage and this app or something like that. But anyway, um, so if you have vinyl, um, and CD copy of your album, and it's also digital, and you have merchandise, um, and you package all that together, you know what I'm saying? Then you can sell that as a merchandise, as opposed to saying you're.
Ladies and gentlemen, we lost the O for a second. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, my phone rang. My phone rang. Um, but if you package merchandise and put the product with the merchandise, then you're selling merch. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how that particular
You
brother
have to be
is.
more inventive
Yeah, you can't just
in
sell a
this in
CD.
this in this market.
Yeah, you can't just sell a CD. You see what I'm saying? Like When I jump back out
Yeah.
there with the hustle, it's exactly what I'm telling you. See, I have vinyl. So that's a marketing tool for me. It's not new vinyl, but it's vinyl of music that I have recorded. You know what I'm saying? I'm pressing up CDs.
Right.
I have merch. You know what I'm saying? But this same thing I'm gonna put out online. You know what I'm saying? But when I put it online, it's gonna be a different type of package. And it's gonna be a zip file, something that you could download. You know what I mean? And you could view and watch and this, that, and the third. But I'm gonna
Can
have a
you give us
different
the
package.
name of the project?
Power of the Tongue.
Power of the Tongue. All right.
Yeah, Power of the Tongue will be out on December the 5th.
So I mean, how did you put this project together? Who did you work with? I mean, what inspired it?
Well, I mean, I was working with BB Slim when I first started the project. That project was actually back to what I was saying earlier. It was started around the time Muhayya Dean died, and back in 2020, I started working on it. And I was getting beats from BB Slim, and then one day I got about 6 or 7 beats from Perp, and it just kind of changed the direction of the album. And as it changed the direction of the album, Power of the Tongue was actually scheduled to come out over the last 3 years. Um, but I just kept putting it on hold because the vibe kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger with the recording that I was doing. And it was like, okay, now I got to start picking songs. So late last year, I started picking songs and I came up with the first 10 songs that I want to put out. And the reason I didn't
Right.
put the album out, the reason I didn't put the album out in the first place when it was first supposed to come out in 2020 was because I didn't want to come off as too preachy. I didn't want to be make my album sound like I was giving a church sermon almost. You know what I'm saying? And then when I was going to drop it in
Yeah.
2021, when I was going to drop it in 2021, I was I it almost was sounding like I was giving a conflicting message. You know what I'm saying? So by the time 2022 hit, I had started listening to all of the songs, and I realized that I had enough music to put a story together and release like a volume 1, 2, or installment 1, installment 2, installment 3. So this first
All right.
power of the, yeah, this first Power of the Tongue, it's not an installment, it's just a release of the Power of the Tongue. I didn't have time to go back with the graphic designer and put the extra title under it. But when I drop in 2024, I'm going to drop um installment 1, Power of the Tongue. It's going to be like the first installment inside of it. And it's going to have a different title. But this one right here is pretty much like Power of the Tongue. I kind of low key call it Straddling the Fence. And you would have to listen to the songs to understand, in church when you're growing up, the pastor always tell you can't straddle the fence. You know what I'm saying? So, and I always feel like people straddle the fence every day in life. You know what I mean? Um, it's a straddle on the fence to get up and go to work for some people. You know what I mean? It's a straddle in the fence to stay
Right.
out of trouble. It's a straddle of the fence to stay out of trouble for some people. You know what I'm saying? It's a straddle of the fence battling with addiction when you have just conquered addiction, so to speak. You know what I mean? So people straddle the fence with life every day. So I think that these 10 songs coming, I think that if you follow the songs that you'll understand the vibe and the energy and you'll get the story, right? So with that said,
Right.
uh with that said, I got Better Than You that's out right now. November the 15th. I mean I'm sorry, October 31st, Halloween, I'm dropping Bonjour. And November the 15th, I'm releasing a song called Current State, uh, featuring the Geechee Lord. And then December the 5th, Power of the Tongue album comes out.
Is there any particular reason to the single strategy instead of just like single boom project?
Um, yeah, it's a little method to the madness, right? So it's like a waterfall streaming effect, right? So give them one, give them another, give them another. Also, at the same time, you know, I wanna um I wanna market those songs as well, like on different platforms to see what works. Um,
Mm,
but my album is gonna come out regardless. Like um there's not a record label per se, right? Like holding me back, but
right.
I ran these songs by people and I said this is how I want to do it. Now, next year there's going to be a different format, but this is how I'm doing it right now. And I felt personally that this waterfall stream effect would get the attention. I haven't released music in 9 years, um, as far as an album. The
What are you
most
trying to
people,
say with this project?
huh?
What are you trying to say with this project? Like, what's the why? Why after 9 years does the original man need to be heard?
Well, like I said, it's the power of the tongue, and I stopped dropping music because life was going on, and this album finally comes after 9 years just to say, I'm still here. I'm doing this because I want to do it. Same, my why now is just me. You know what I mean? I'm the why. You know what I mean? That sounds selfish, but this is the first time I've really been able to put myself first in my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here. I ain't lost a step.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm having fun doing this. So, I ain't worried about no competition. I ain't got no point to prove to nobody. I just want y'all to know that this is some dope music. I got something to say on every song. Um, and it's just the power of the tongue. You can speak life or death. So I'm speaking life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also telling you about some death that goes on, you know.
Right. Well, we done had a nice little conversation, man. We done talked to these people for about a good hour, man. Um, I don't have any other questions to ask you as far as us interacting with the interview. Is there anything that you would like to leave the people with as we bring this to a conclusion?
I would like to leave the people with this. Believe wholeheartedly in your abilities. You cannot have faith or fear. If you speak it into existence, think on it with success, not with fear. With that said, this song, if you got time to play, it's called For Keeps. It's by my man
I got
King
time.
Naj. It's by my man King Naj from Charleston by way. He lives out in Seattle, but he's from Charleston. Um, I'm on this song. He featured me on this song. Salute to the whole Blue Ribbon family. But you gotta play for keeps. And you shouldn't play
I'm about to
games.
play this right now. So what
Let's
we're
go.
gonna do is we're gonna wrap it up, and then I mean we're just gonna sit here and vibe out to the song, and then once that for keeps is over, that'll be the end of the interview. And good luck on the show that you have tonight. Rock that shit. Do that shit, my nigga.
Oh, I'm
I
not
really
performing. My girl
appreciate you.
performing tonight.
Oh, well, salute to your girl.
You already know she
Knock
gonna
that
kill
shit
it.
out.
Gonna kill it.
And man, I appreciate you coming through the damn drop some game to the Black Dollar Media family and just, put us on to what's going on with the original man.
Man, thank you for having me. And I hope I didn't come off as the old winded nigga.
Nah, man, we had a nice little talk, man. Shit, that's what it's all about. Showing the people your personality, man. That music, we here for the music, but it connects better when the people know who you are, man, as a person. Cause that's what it,
Indeed,
that
man.
was my that's what attracted me to the music, man. I felt like I knew goddamn the Wu-Tang niggas. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was the fourth nigga in Dipset. You know, that's
Right,
what
right, right,
that's
right,
the love of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So that's what I'm trying to
That's
do
like,
for us down here, man. Let them people get to know us, man, so that they can damn fuck with us, you know?
man, listen, you're not saying nothing I don't already know, man. Tupac always made me feel like I was from California.
You know what I'm saying, man? That's the
Yeah,
power of this shit. The power of the tongue, nigga.
I appreciate you having me on the show, man. For real. It's an honor.
Yeah, man. So let's get into this track, man. It's for Keep. Go ahead and introduce the song one more time.
Once again, man, King Naj featuring the O for Keeps, right off of the Exactly As We Planned project, streaming everywhere right now. Salute to the Blue Ribbon family. It's your man, the original man, aka the O. Yeah.
Listen to my heartbeat, and that's the rhythm of the shells hitting concrete. Everybody know what's up, but they ain't see. They say the boy too ice cold, they got a hot seat. I know, I ain't got too far to go. I show how much a nigga grow. Listen to my heartbeat. They playing games in the streets and they play for keeps. Seen enough, they ain't acting right. Guns N' Roses, destruction is the appetite. It's so easy, they think they out to get me. Welcome to the jungle, this ain't Paradise City. My rhymes are smooth as silk, but it cuts like a razor. I'm a hellraiser, they enticed by the flavor. I grew from concrete, I made it from the bottom. Now I'm in studios writing beats like a slalom. They gave me many days like this. I'm supposed to be on speedboats with bottles of Chris. I showed how I was inspired by actual events. I prayed to a higher power to repent for my sins. I had to leave home to find a piece of me, but I still hear smoke going inside my friend's Caprice. Every day it's the same old shit, but I take your head to herb and I handle my biz. Listen to my heartbeat, and match the rhythm of the shells hitting concrete. Everybody know what's up, but they ain't see. They say the boy too ice cold, they got a hot seat. I know, I ain't got too far to go. I show how much a nigga grow. Listen to my heartbeat. They playing games in the streets and they play for keeps.
Now this the way it's supposed to go. Them late nights I was posted low, knowing I was supposed to blow. Posting posters at the corner store. CDs, shirts, and weed, whatever, get the dough, you know. Nigga act like you ain't supposed to grow. All seas bear fruit, tell me how you let your ocean flow. I take a loss and I'ma go some more. I see the lessons, not the failures, that's how I set a different course. I taking flights, getting to this dough now. Climbing at a fast pace, I don't plan to slow down. Miss me with that 360, I ain't merry go round. Only about that 180 changes in my soul now. I had to go within to find a piece of me. I knew it really wasn't working with the Jesus piece. Every day it's the same old shit. A few blunts of gas, I handle my biz and don't quit.
Listen to my heartbeat, and match the rhythm of the shells hitting concrete. Everybody know what's up, but they ain't see. They say the boy too ice cold, they got a hot seat. I know, I ain't got too far to go. I show how much a nigga grow. Listen to my heartbeat. They playing games in the streets and they play for keeps.
All right, people. Just had an interview with your boy, the OSB, Rio Black Dollars Media. Keep on pushing interviews. signing out.